So my people, Sowore has actually revealed a lot of untold truths about the Igbos. Things that you people actually do not know about the Igbos. In today's video, you are going to hear everything from Showore's mouth and everything he has to say. According to him, he said they actually made a meeting in Aso Rock where they said they would not give the power of presidency to any Igbo. And the thing is, none of our Igbos are actually doing anything about this. So my people, according to him, he said a lot of people do not agree with him or dislike him for the fact that he is supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My people, a lot of things were said, and I would like you guys to watch this video to the end so you can hear for yourself.
For instance, that he was not given adequate information before the demolition, and he hasn't been compensated a dime since then till now. And then the road, as the construction as we speak, is about abandoned because it's in court. The SDP presidential candidate, Doherty, governorship candidate, beg your pardon, Funsho Doherty took the federal government to court on that issue. It's in court. What do you think? How do you think this case is eventually going to end?
No, let me tell you. Before they brought the Calabar
Coastal
Lagos Highway, they've had issue with the landmark owner.
Oh wow! Why?
Yes, because he's been trying to expand there, and he wanted a piece of land between where he does conference and a hotel.
Okay.
They claim it was owned by the Lagos State Water Corporation. They will never give him because they have always said it, and this is information that is known within their circle, that they will never allow an Igbo man to expand in that place.
Oh, whoa. So you think this is about where?
That's where it started.
Okay.
So the guy himself knew in advance that they don't want him to expand in that place. It's a well-known fact. And when this opportunity came for the coastal, they didn't waste time in going after him. So all the thing he was doing with Lagos State government, as we later found out, they were not on record. But they did it deliberately. They take money from him, we're processing. So
you think they were expunged from record or they were just on record?
They just didn't put it on record. For instance, a certain part of the land projection into the Atlantic Ocean. They did not, or the lagoon, whatever part of it. They did not.
The beach area.
Yes, they did not put it in the records. They just come and say, keep going. They knew what they were doing. And guess what? When they started the demolition of the place, they then found out later that there's nowhere they need to build.
Exactly. Remember there was a question about the environmental impact assessment.
That tells you that it was pure malice as opposed to development.
So this was pure malice on
against a business person. They didn't approve of his business
because of his tribe.
Yeah, because of his ethnicity. I can say that, and because I was aware of that case. In fact, I was the one who first pushed the story about his the attack on his property, because I've been there before. I've been to Landmark several times. So if you ask him, he's been having issues with them because they won't sell that piece of land to him that would have enabled him to connect the hotel with the conference area. You can go and check it. And they claim at that time that that is the place that the West African highway was supposed to pass through, that we're not going to sell it to you. So when is that when they needed Calabar Expressway, they didn't use the place they refused to sell to him? That they claim, because that Calabar Lagos Expressway is supposed to actually come from Senegal. It's the West African coastal highway.
Coastal highway, okay.
So it has been designed a long time ago. It wasn't a new place. But the moment the opportunity came for them to clamp down on this businessman, they used it to quickly.
Now, Mr. Sowore, what does this mean for a president who's been traveling and as stated by Peter Obi, he spent 30% of his time in office traveling to market the country? If a business owner that is of the same origin in the country can be attacked because of his ethnic affiliation, what does it tell to the image of the country and to the people that the president has been marketing this country to?
You don't need to go far. You know how they brazenly talk about election in this country. You know, there was a time the Oba of Lagos said the people don't vote for Igbos who don't vote for them will be driven into
Lagoon.
the lagoon. So what else do you want them to say? You see them on Twitter, they have handles that are dedicated to, attacking other ethnicities,
So you think they're
especially Igbos.
unapologetic about this?
They're not. And those handles have been linked to the Lagos State government people.
But you're a Yoruba man. Why are you saying this about your people?
I don't know why people just say that, because you're being a Yoruba person doesn't take my humanity away. But you must understand that this is not just about landmark. There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they're holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi
for
Kanu's perpetual
Biafra.
detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. He said 120,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually, using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. And everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political, because it may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims, and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos the way they are.
Yes, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interests, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's easier for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessmen. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulates people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. It's easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate.
By being an Igbo man.
Of course, that's the truth. That's why you were saying, oh, you are Yoruba man. If based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. But I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo.
Okay.
And we are the Ijo speaking Yorubas. We're the Yoruba speaking Ijos in Ondo State.
Okay.
So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area.
No, it's Ilaje. So we're next to Ilaje.
Okay.
But my great grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Sowore is named after is in Ijebu waterside. Because that's how they came. So, but I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry on, so you have to be a Yoruba man. And then it was,
So we've had
here
Rwanda.
Comes one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Tutsi thing after years of genocide. Are you
sure they managed it?
Well, to a reasonable extent.
They have to manage it through genocide. And Nigeria
after genocide management.
So this is what you should understand. Okay. Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide 4 million Igbos.
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But
But
you
how
know,
can we
you know
move
the
past
problem
this?
I have sometimes even with some of our people is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used third commando to massacre Igbo. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu, and I say so be it, because I know that I'm supporting justice, and I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I said something. I would like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were the victims. Now they are forgiving the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth.
That's why I say you are preaching to the choir. It's not Igbos are not only in Nigeria; they're all over the world. I went to Alabama, in the U.S., and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma?
Yeah,
it's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely, that's what you find in every community in the U.S. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru, Gala, after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? He said, well, somebody has to treat them. He was that courageous not to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay. All right. So let's move
because nobody wants to hear the truth. And when you say, if somebody's watching me and get out of this, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of the existence through persecution in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through Landmark or Nnamdi Kanu or, look, I told a story, I think it was on a Honest Punch, that in this country, there was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going east.
Do you think that's what's happening in the East right now? Speaking about militarization of the East.
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
Yeah, so let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
All right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, owner of a media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted. He and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who, dehumanized them, told them to lie on the floor. In fact, told them they were going to shoot at them. Told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB?
Exactly.
That they were killed by military. Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
These guys are burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the east, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you're automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The governor in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the East. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, bandits' havens.
Dangerous points.
Dangerous points. And there will be no policeman or army on the way.
Okay.
But you cannot travel in the east today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately,
that
is what it is. Before we leave, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
You have we have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a definition of speaking truth to power. Oh, Sowore, do you fear for your life?
It's too late. My life had been taken several times, to the point that all I'm dedicated to is living my life one day at a time. And the reason is this. When I was leaving the university, I did not know, I left the university at the age of 24, 25. I did not know that I would make it up to 30. So I used to say at that time that I was living on borrowed times. I'm 54 now. If